Supermoons and supermoon eclipses. In this video I will explore what are the causes of supermoons and supermoon eclipses, how often they occur and if there are any patterns seen in the frequency of these events. What causes a supermoon? Supermoons are the result of the Moon's elliptical path around Earth, which dictates that the satellite is 31,000 miles (50,000 kilometers) nearer to Earth at its closest point, known as perigee, than when it is at its most distant, called the apogee. Supermoons are full moons that occur at a near perigee. Such full moons appear about 14% larger and 30% brighter in the sky than apogee full moons, which are also called minimoons. While the Moon's average distance from our planet is about 239,000 miles. The natural satellite roams as far away as 252,000 miles at apogee, and gets as close as 226,000 miles at perigee. Every supermoon is therefore a worthy sky-watching target. And a supermoon total lunar eclipse, that's a really big deal. The Moon's orbit rotates once every 8.85 years. The orientation of the orbit is not fixed in space but rotates over time. This orbital precession is also called the apsidal precession and is the rotation of the Moon's orbit within the orbital plane. It makes one complete revolution every 8.85 Earth years. Here we see the supermoon occurrence of 2011 through the Moon phases until the supermoon in 2012. The period between the two supermoons is just over 413 days. The elliptical orbit of the Moon causes variations in the Moon's apparent size as viewed from Earth. The lunar phases shift as the Moon changes its position relative to the Sun and Earth. A full moon appears when it is in direct opposition to the Sun and is reflecting the Sun's light from its surface, which is visible from Earth. The supermoon occurs when there is a full moon and when the Moon is at its closest point to Earth. A micromoon occurs when there is a full moon but it is at its furthest point from Earth. Here the apparent size difference between a supermoon and a normal moon can be observed. A supermoon eclipse occurs when the Moon is at a near perigee. The Moon passes directly behind the Earth into its umbra, its shadow. This can occur only when the Sun, Earth, and Moon are aligned in syzygy exactly, or very closely so, with the Earth in the middle. The frequency of a supermoon occurrence is approximately every 14th full moon. This is because synodic and anomalistic months differ by almost 2 days. Perigee and full moon alignments will drift relative to one another. The beat period between the two is about 13.9443 synodic months, about 411.8 days. However, halfway through the cycle the full moon will be close to apogee, and the new moons immediately before and after can be supermoons. Depending on the interpretation of the definition, there may be between 3 and 6 supermoons per cycle. Since 13.9443 differs from 14 by very close to 1/18 of 1 and is around 0.0555. The supermoons themselves will vary with a period of about 18 cycles, about 251 synodic months or 20.3 years. Only 5 such supermoon eclipses have occurred in the entire 20th century, NASA experts have said. 1910, 1928, 1946, 1964, 1982. And in the 21st century there has been one in 2015 and the next will occur in 2033. The supermoon eclipse of 2015 was the last blood moon of the 2014-2015 tetrad and was the only one of this sequence of blood moons that was visible over Israel. There is an interesting number of years between the supermoon eclipses in the 20th and 21st centuries. The gap remains constant throughout the 20th century, being 18 years. But the 2015 supermoon eclipse seems to have some important significance. The gap jumps to a prophetic 33 years before returning again to the 18-year cycle. With the supermoon and supermoon eclipse cycles, we see many occurrences of the numbers 8, 18 and 33. The moon's apsidal precession takes 8.85 years to complete. 18-year gap between the supermoon eclipse cycles. The supermoon's cycle will vary over a period of 18 cycles, 20.3 years. The difference of the beat period of 13.9443 from 14 equals 1 divided by 18. The gap between the 1982 and 2015 supermoon eclipses was 33 years. If this information is added to the other information that we know about the moon has a sidereal rotation period of 27.32 days. The moon's mean equatorial and polar radii are all 0.273% of Earth's. Numbers have meanings. The number 1 means the beginning, as in day 1, the start of the week. The number 8 means new beginnings, as in day 8, the start of a new week. The number 33 was the age that Jesus was crucified. Science tries to indoctrinate us with the notion that all of this came about by a random series of events. God created the heavens and set them in motion. This is why we see patterns and repeating numbers in astronomy. Nothing happens by chance. It all occurs because God has designed it that way. When we see number patterns, especially when these coincide with earthly events, we should take notice. We should ask ourselves, are these events a prophetic countdown?
And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years,